There is a worry by many Republicans that we don't want to go overboard on the debts and deficits. We already have about a $3 trillion deficit this year. And so any relief needs to be targeted. And right now it's about under $1 trillion. And the total cost of a subsequent round of stimulus payments was somewhere around $300 billion to $350 billion. And so they couldn't make the math work as it relates to putting that into a potential compromise bill with all the other items. Overall, the bipartisan bill is a bit over $900 billion overall. Key components of that include about $160 billion for state and local governments to help support them in their budget gaps in fiscal 2020 and 2021 in particular. In addition to that, there's about $180 billion for unemployment insurance benefits. So those two alone are over $300 billion. There's also about $288 billion in PPP and small business relief in there, which would allow businesses to take a second tranche of PPP funds if they got one, as well as allowing new applicants, because many folks did not get access to a PPP loan before the money had run out, and so that's important. About $80 billion in education funding as well for both K-12 and post-secondary schools to help adapt to any modifications they have to make in terms of their schooling. So about $50 billion is going to go to the vaccine and public health aspects of that. That's both helping with the production, the distribution, critical supplies, because one thing they're really worried about right now is running out of items like even the glass that's made within vaccines, for vaccines is very specialized. Because we're talking about hundreds of millions of doses, that could come in short supply and become a bottleneck. And so when you add all that up, it becomes very clear that you don't have the space to add in another $300 billion for individual payments. And so that would require something closer to a $1.5 trillion bill, which that's something closer to the size of what we might see proposed by Democrats next year, for sure, once the Biden administration comes in.
Invest in you. Ready, set, grow. CNBC and Acorns.